Subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to get all the latest updates.
Do you also wonder why monsoons this year are so inconsistent? Heavy rainfalls on one day and hard-hitting sun the next? Well, going by experts, these patchy monsoons are part of humanity's code red. In the last 2 years, India has seen its worst monsoons. The regularly accepted onset and withdrawal dates of June 1st and October 15th have seen multiple shifts in the last 10 years. This year, India recorded an 85% rise in extremely heavy rainfall since 2012, covering most of India in a mere 10 days. Clearly, the nature of Indian monsoon is being altered by climate change, with it becoming more erratic and destructive. Climate projections state that it will get even more unpredictable through the rest of the century. India is one of the most vulnerable nations to the ravages of climate change. This year, India witnessed a range of floods. In August itself, the states of Rajasthan, Assam, Bihar, UP, MP and Bengal were affected by heavy floods, and over 40 people lost their lives. Such heavy rainfall occurred in the districts of Himachal Pradesh, Maharashtra, Kerala, UP, Assam, Bihar and Telangana in monsoon of 2020. Union Home Ministry data states that at least 1,500 people were killed due to the resulting floods between June and September 2020. However, going by a recent report released by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change in the month of August itself, things are only going to get worse. While these calamities appear as one-off instances, a stringent pattern of global temperature rise and carbon emission rise is located at its root. This is what is presented in UN's IPCC's latest report on the climate crisis occurring globally. The report, which is the first part of IPCC's 6th assessment report, is the latest evaluation of the state of the Earth's climate crisis and its impact on the planet. One of the biggest takeaways from this report is the warning that there might be a global temperature rise of 1.5 degrees even before 2040. This might also increase the number of heat waves, crop failures, rainstorms, droughts, and cause higher sea levels. As per scientists, for India, this will translate into the rise of extreme rainfall events, floods, cyclones, and more fatal monsoons. The report comes in a year when we have already witnessed two separate cyclones, Cyclone Yas and Cyclone Tauktae, which have led to the death of about 45 people and have displaced thousands on the eastern and western coasts of India. There has been a 52% rise in the frequency of cyclones over the Arabian Sea between 2001 and 2019 and an 8% decrease over the Bay of Bengal compared to 1982 to 2002.
So let's see if the warming takes place. The thermodynamic theory states that with per degree centigrade warming, the extreme precipitation or heavy precipitation increases by 7%, around 7%. And in IPCC Assessment Report 6, Chapter 11 has clearly said that around the globe, the extreme events, the daily scale, the extreme events are increasing at a global scale it's around 7%. So it's actually increasing. Extreme precipitation is actually increasing. And if you're focusing on India, yes, extreme precipitation has increased over the last few decades, and it will continue to increase as mentioned by the climate models.
As per the IPCC, both summer monsoon and annual precipitation are going to see a rise, with the presence of aerosols and particulate matter due to increased human activity directly causing the rise of extreme rainfall events. With high confidence, the report states that precipitation in monsoons will increase in the coming decades and that the monsoon will become less predictable year to year, making it harder to prepare for its consequences. One of the main suggestions that the report makes is that countries like India, where carbon emissions are still uncontrolled, have to divide their time and expenditure in two ways. First, into controlling carbon emission rates and bringing it to net zero by investing in climate-friendly policies. This is in line with the 2015 Paris Agreement. And the second is to invest in disaster preparedness and management.
So disaster management is needed because we are seeing the heat waves will increase. An unprecedented heat wave we'll be seeing in the near future. Heat wave is one of the major, extreme event, and all the models, even the IPCC has huge confidence that it will increase in the future. So heat wave is one of the things. Second is that a flooding will increase. The third one is tropical cyclone will increase. Fourth one is sea level will rise. And fifth one is during tropical cyclone with a rising sea level, you are actually getting a lot of extreme precipitation because cyclones brings a lot of extreme intensified precipitation. So it's a compound extremes. So one is the sea level rise, second one is storm surge, and the third one is the intensified precipitation. So it's a compound extremes which will affect the coastal regions of India. And we have been seeing this over the last few years. We have been seeing Amphan, yes, and the other one which Gujarat region. So there are a number of tropical cyclones which are coming, and the Indian Ocean is warming up very fast. So that's one of the issues. So of course, disaster mitigation should be one of the key area, and not really related to working group one, but I'd like to say is that we have to understand that extremes will increase, the compound extremes will increase, but the government of India or any state government or city municipal corporation now should come up with resilience plan. So this sort of extremes will happen. One is that evacuation plan, how to really do the evacuation. And government of India has made a nice, it's essentially the India Meteorological Department. They have done a great effort in terms of having a proper plan how to really do the evacuation during the tropical cyclone. During the cyclones, how to really do that. And we know that Odisha, West Bengal, as well as Gujarat, these are the states which have been benefited by this kind of policies. The other thing what is important is that how to bring back to the original condition, which is another resilience. So resilience, let's say in an urban region, let's say if there is a huge flood. After that, what are the regions where we should start pumping so that those roads can be started, so the city will again get connected? Or what are the specific infrastructure which we have to revive first, so that the entire city will quickly come back to its original condition, if not original condition, close to its original condition. So that resilience plan, because extremes will increase, but what will be the resilience plan for different extremes? That is very important, and disaster mitigation organizations should really think in that direction. Just forecasting is not sufficient, or just evacuation is not sufficient. A proper resilience plan is the need of the hour.
India is currently the third largest carbon emitter in the world after China and USA. We have maintained that we are on the course to outperform our Paris Climate Agreement and reduce our carbon footprint by 33 to 35% from 2005 levels by 2030. However, even with India being number 7 on a recent Climate Risk Index of 2019, the environment budgets have seen a cut. Total budgetary allocation for India's Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has been reduced to 28.7 billion this year from 31 billion to 2020-2021. The report also highlights how urbanization will exacerbate climate impacts like floods.
It is also being mentioned this time in IPCC report is that urbanization is one of the contributors to the increase in extreme precipitation over the urban regions, or maybe the downwind direction of the urban region. That means, and it is with medium confidence, IPCC states that there are multiple mechanisms through which urbanization also results in increase in extreme precipitation. This is important because a huge population in India lives in urban regions. And, so that's another thing. And in many urban regions, we have been seeing a lot of floods. And what happens over the urban region when extreme precipitation happens, there is a kind of flash flood because it cannot infiltrate. It's all concreted. So it generates flash flood. So that is another major concern when there is an increase in the extreme precipitation.
As we published this report, the IMD has predicted heavy bouts of rainfall in Assam, where floods have already affected 20,000 lives. We've had visuals coming in from all across the country with evacuation taking place in flood-hit areas by members of the Air Force, and we've even seen our ministers being airlifted from the rooftop of their homes. The IPCC report indeed comes as a code red for India to hasten the implementation of its net zero targets and strive to control further violent bouts of monsoon by investing in greener policy initiatives.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.